Gentlemen, Pastor Shuttleworth absolutely went in on this one. He surely did. I ain't gotta say much. Y'all remember to hit the like button coming through the door and follow me on all platforms. Let's get into this right here. He was really going in on the whole system, man. The government, everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know people don't watch Pastor Shuttleworth, because he really be going at these people. So let's get it.
Quite a mouthful. It's troubling. It shouldn't be troubling to those of us in the know, but the truth be told, the general citizenry very often are not aware, right, um, of the fine prints and also the reality. And that is why the politicians, most of them, with the exception obviously of a few, they are not interested in improving our education system so that our people at large can be empowered to be self-reliant, to be able to think for themselves with all the necessary skills, intelligence and so. They want to keep the masses in the quagmire of ignorance so that they can pull wool over their eyes and tell them any old thing, anything, just talk. And whatever they say, they speak in ways at times that would be over the heads of the people. And then in between, they employ what is called plain folk language to basically pander to the people, try to give the impression that they are with them, they are with them, they can identify with them, but it's really talking down to them and deceive them with lies, which amount to half truths. But as you know, the truth can only be the truth. Once you're talking about 99 point something, it's no longer true. So not to mention 50% of something, that's not. Once there is any kind of vacillation in what is said, deviation, it's no longer truth, because truth is consistent from the beginning to the end. It's also consistent in the middle. So it's a crying shame, and I'm going to now develop on that before we hear from Pastor Dr. Patience Alonge. So it has been a hot mess all over what is happening, because there are a number of things that are illegal according to our constitution, and yet they are being practiced in some instances in wide open view, and in other instances in a clandestine way. And these are the people who have been leading us and showing up at prayer breakfast, showing up at Heal the Family, Heal the Nation, and so on, saying that they are worshiping God. Worshiping which God? It cannot be you, it cannot be Jesus the Christ. And that is why they don't want to have anything to do with Jesus the Christ, Son of the living God. We are looking at a report. This is an aside, but it is also connected. A report where we're seeing a number of students were caught at a primary school with toy guns. Now, when you look on the toy guns, they look like the real thing. They look like real guns, but they are toy guns. And yet, you're keeping devotions out of schools. At the same time, want to flood it with hell no. Huh? Don't you see we have a set of people who they can't be trusted? They can't be trusted. And I'm going to take it further. Look at this now. During yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing, and I'm reading verbatim, during yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing, Minister of Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, said Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is expected to speak on the USAID development. Still, she said, the United States of America, and any other country for that matter, maintains a sovereign right to make decisions that suit them.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Delicious, crisp.
Quote, the Prime Minister has consistently spoken about economic resilience and us not being dependent on anyone. That is important because as an independent country, we need to be able to stand on our own 2 feet. It's very important to remember that there is nobody coming to our rescue. We have to be independent, end quote, she said. The devil is a liar. So now, let us look at that statement and unpack it. Do you see that being evident in the policies of government over the years? Because I don't want anyone to say, oh, he's against the jail deal. Friends, I've made it public. Both sides have been a colossal failure. And as their employers, we should have fired them long ago, both of them, both sides. And that's why we're calling. And the Lord has responded to our plea for New Jamaica. So don't talk rubbish. Come and tell me about, oh, I am against JLP and I'm against. Listen, I don't support parties. I support policies. Right? So get that clear. So as I'm speaking, don't say I'm anti this. I'm anti-corruption. I'm anti-deception. I'm anti-unrighteousness. Yes. I'm anti-wickedness. That's what I'm anti. So I want to get that clear. So let us look at the statement made by the minister. Now tell me, what have been the policies of this current administration and even the last one? I've been in power 16 consecutive years before. You show me the policies that they have been pursuing that would help us to become economically resilient. Promoting tourism, building roads, building concrete jungle on our arable farmlands, investing millions upon millions of dollars, pushing needs, cashlessness. That can help us to be economically resilient, taking on over 300% increase for themselves, them being well paid right now. A hedge has been formed around them against inflation, while the masses of us are suffering, barely able to eke out a living. The statistics have shown that our labor force, we are the worst paid in the Caribbean, the lowest paid, while our politicians are among the highest paid. What does that say to you? That will result in economic resilience. We give our teachers peanuts and allow our better or best and brightest mind, and of course we know we still have some bright ones who still remain, but the large majority of our best and brightest minds have left and gone abroad. The same thing in our health sector. We also have had a number of our best and brightest members from the security force, for example, JCF, also leaving. So it's massive brain drain. What are you talking about? What economic resilience? Or maybe you don't know what it means. You don't know what economic resilience is. Don't you know that there are intelligent people in Jamaica? To read into the nonsense that you people go around and be talking. What kind of economic resilience? Tell me something major that he has done. And the other side too. But since he's the one in power now, that would guarantee economic resilience. They should be ashamed of themselves. And then let's look at the other part of the statement. That Jamaica is an independent country. Well, we didn't see that when you run ahead and sign the Samoa Agreement. An independent country. We say, oh, we got to sign this satanic agreement, which requires us to grovel, to go into the soil literally, to sell our children, to embrace satanic lifestyle, practices that are injurious to human flourishing, practices that will redound to our diminishing, because everything about the LGBTQI minus will lead to the diminishing of any society. To embrace the LGBTQI lifestyle is literally to be shooting yourself in the head. It's tantamount to that. Because no nation, no community can grow if we practice and embrace the LGBTQI ideology or lifestyle. So what you're talking about? Independence? You're interested in Jamaica being independent? When you have gone cap in hand, tied yourself to the UN, signing the UN compact? What is she talking about? What are you talking about? Let me go on a little bit further. Talking about standing on our own 2 feet when we can't even feed ourselves. Look at.
Man, shout out to my babes, Mr. Kimi in the building. What's up, love? Salute to you. Man, the pastor is cooking Dr. Dana Morris Dixon. And, well, he's cooking just the government overall, man. Let me play this back. Lord have mercy. Woo!
Can grow if we practice and embrace the LGBTQI ideology or lifestyle. So what you're talking about? Independence? You're interested in Jamaica being independent when you have gone cap in hand, tied yourself to the UN, signing the UN compact. Huh? What is she talking about? What are you talking about? Let me go on a little bit further. Talking about standing on our own 2 feet when we can't even feed ourselves. Look at our import bill and the continued widening of the trade deficit. What you're talking about? Standing on our own feet? What is she talking about? It is obvious that someone don't know what they're saying, or else you think you're talking to a set of idiots. Well, I'm calling you out, all of you out, because none of what you have said there is manifested in the policies and the actions that you have been taking over the years you have been involved. And then let me pull the other sentence apart as well. It's very important to remember that no, there is nobody coming to our rescue. Really no. So when did you realize that? Huh? When did you realize that no one else is going to come to our rescue? If you knew that no one else would come to Jamaica's rescue, then why is it agriculture has been treated the way it has been? Why is it our education system has been treated the way it has been treated over the years? Why is it we're not paying our teachers? Why is it we're not paying our doctors? And look at the ramshackled condition of our health sector. I have had to do visit recently, and it's a shame when I go into the hospital to do visit. It's a shame. And look at how much money have been exchanging hands all over the place. What you talking about? What are you talking about? If you knew that nobody would come to our rescue, why is it we have been pursuing this? Why is it we are pumping billions of dollars to train more and more police and more army, members of the army, right? Look at our population. And talking about building more prisons. You're not serious. You're not serious. Do you think that the NIDS will make us self-reliant? Do you think the NIDS, and I have to mention that because you're making it seem as if the NIDS and cashlessness is the be-all and end-all and will advance the society. Advance the society for who? The devil is a liar. And I'm saying it publicly. You leaders should be ashamed of yourselves. And as the wind blows, this is the year of the wind. Remember that. 57, 85, 2025. There is more exposure coming, and also people are going to be blown out of their positions. As also expect also that the wind is going to cause wide sweeping industrial unrest, social unrest, among other things. It's going to happen, friends. And in the midst of it, disasters. You can write it down. The only thing that will slow this down and or reverse or give some respite is Jamaica bowing before the crucified and risen Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, and observing those 3 consecutive days of national mourning, fasting, prayer, and repentance. I know Lady Jenny wants to chat.
Oh, man, listen, I agree with every utterance that he said. I mean, I'm not voting for party, I'm voting for policy. And one of the policies that, for me, in Jamaica, that disqualifies this government, there's many, but one of the policies is they can't tell us that we're independent and they're signing and joining themselves with all of these bodies overseas, and every time something happens, they're having their hands stretched out asking for aid. I've seen the Prime Minister come out publicly and said to entities like I think it's the UN and that group that they've signed with all the countries that, oh, we have done this and we have done that, it's full time now that you send us, we should be compensated. He was asking for compensation, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're not independent. We're absolutely not independent. We are so dependent, it's ridiculous. All right, we get all this aid now. U.S. aid has been taken away from us, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" I don't have a problem with it personally. All right, I've listened to Miss Akimi. She's in the chat right now. Miss Akimi, please drop your link, and I would encourage everybody to go and check her out because she lives in America and she's giving you a great perspective of what well-thinking Americans think about where their tax dollars go. We a lot of people is looking at Trump like, oh, like America owes us something. America don't owe us nothing. The people of America and their tax dollars don't owe us nothing, right? So the withdrawal of the U.S. aid and all those things, and now he talked about agriculture. Look at the agricultural situation in Jamaica. Burial happened, and according to the Minister of Agriculture, we had 48,000 farmers that were affected. And this man, in a press briefing months ago, said that they helped like 500 of those farmers out. I'm like, wait a minute. That's less than a 1% of the amount of farmers. That's like 1% of the farmers in 48,000. So if it takes you 6 months to help 1% of the farmers, how much years do you think it's going to take you to actually rebuild or help all the farmers out? It's going to be 2% every year. So it's going to take 50 years, huh? That's the pace at which the government is rebuilding and helping our people. Like, bruh, it's trash. Signing the Samoa agreement, that's a no-no for me. NIDS, that's a no-no. Going fully digital, that's a no-no. The constitutional reform that they're talking about with a ceremonial president, that's a no-no for me. And that reminds that's a perfect way to end this reaction to go to the next reaction, because we're going to look at the constitutional reform in a speech that um, our former Prime Minister of Jamaica, PJ Patterson, did. But let me know. Hey, tell me what you think about what the pastor said. Play this a couple times because he was cooking. All right. Yep.